The newest Ultraman season has gotten off to a great start, so let's talk about it.
Hello everyone, it's thomasjujube, and before I talk about Ultraman Teo's first few episodes, please let me know what you thought of the show down in the comment section. Is it your first Ultraman? Have you been here a while? What did you think of the show so far? I think, personally, it's been pretty cool. So I am a little late talking about, well, I'm not. I can make reviews whenever the fuck I want. But in terms of when the show came out, I am a little late because I was in Japan and I didn't have time to film a review. But I did check out episode 1 when it aired. So I was there, I guess, from the beginning. Just a bit of reference of how I'll be looking at the rest of the show. I did just binge the rest of it once I got back. Because I was in Japan, that's where these came from. These were purchased straight out of a... Where was I? These came from Toys R Us. Straight out of a Japanese Toys R Us. So these are pretty cool. I might talk a bit about them later. But, you know, I think going forward, my opinion on Teo and that Zero movie might be a little biased because, you know, I got to see like a bunch of stuff as it came out on the shelves. It's pretty cool. Once again, I will be making a vlog about my time there. Be sure to subscribe and stay tuned for that. Lots of stuff to talk about. Now, let's talk about Teo. So, episode 1, I quite liked. It was, not in a bad way, a pretty standard, like, Ultraman opening, at least for, like, you know, kind of what to expect. Or, it didn't, like, surprise me in any way, but that's fine, because it was good. The reason I say that is because, like, it feels like every Ultraman season of the last few years opens with a big space battle in the beginning that sets up the plot and, like, our character motivations. Like, at least Omega did it last year. I just thought that was kind of funny that we're doing that again. The thing that I wasn't expecting is that red Ultraman that I guess technically not an Ultraman, but I don't think it has a name yet. I've seen some people talking about a name. If you do know what the name is, you can spoiler tag and let me know in the comment section. That's fine. I think that's a really hot design. I really like that character, and I hope we get to see them come back and we get more lore on the Teo's world, because it does seem like... I like the flashbacks we got. It seems pretty interesting. Our villain threat is very shrouded in mystery so far, and that's another thing that kind of is very last few years Reiwa Ultraman, where we introduce a big threat in the beginning that is the main fight in episode 1, and then they kind of disappear for a while. I don't know why we keep doing that. I mean, it's cool, but it's like, I think that's kind of where I feel like Ultraman's been going through the motions with their ideas. Now, the rest of the show so far, we're only 4 episodes in, so the next 3 episodes, I feel really been different in shaking up the Ultraman formula, and that's really cool to me, because I actually said with Omega, like, I hope we kind of switch things up a little bit next year, and this is very serialized for Ultraman, which, you know, not to say I hate being like, oh, they need to be more serialized to be better, because I hate thinking like that, but the episodes themselves are like, they have like contained stories in each one, but they really flow together. Like, so far, all of them have given some kind of cliffhanger that is directly followed up on in the next episode. Like, they flow together, and I think that's really cool. It makes me, at least on this binge, it made me more immersed, and I feel like it makes me more excited for each episode, because the story is consistently building upon itself. In regards to the story so far, I do like we have a bunch of moving pieces as well. Like, we have our main characters and the little fun group, and they have funny little shenanigans, which is always fun and fine. I really like how we have the defense organization woman, I think there's a name, the UTTF. Her and the biologist from the university have like their own separate plot, which is really, really cool. Like, it adds this extra element, I think. And it's kind of interesting to get like an attack team, not an attack team, but like the government organization in regards to kaiju acting separately from our main character. Like, usually you'll see the Ultraman host or whatever somehow is connected to that and is working with them. He's talked to the professor, but like not about the kaiju. Really, I guess they have talked about poop. But he hasn't talked to that woman at all. and she's very like kind of mysterious. Like I kind of get the feeling she might become somewhat antagonistic in like the middle half of the show. At the very least, like she's like I don't know. I think it's really cool what they're doing with that storyline. As for our main storyline with our main characters, I quite like them. I think, they don't have a lot so far, but they've only been in a couple episodes. One of my favorite bits of the show so far has actually been when they're all trying to hide Poochie, and like they all do not realize they're all trying to hide Poochie from each other. Like at first I was like, did I miss a scene? Did Ibuki tell all of them? But no, they all kind of discovered him separately and thought he was cute and wanted to protect him. I think that was a pretty fun bit. I do think the last episode is probably the weakest one, just because it is weird how we have that bit of them all trying to protect Poochie, and now all of a sudden they don't care. They're like, nah, you got this. We don't need to protect this kaiju. Like, what did we just spend the last episode doing? Trying to protect him. So, that's like a weird thing, but I mean, Emma and Kana are still kind of trying to help. I am quite surprised by how Poochie is almost the plot of this show so far. Like, trying to protect Poochie, trying to hide Poochie, trying to get Poochie home now. I thought he'd just be the friendly, cute kaiju, but no, like, everything's been about him really so far, which is really interesting. Again, I wasn't expecting it, but also, since he is cute, it does help a lot. But I am interested to see kind of where we go with Poochie, since I guess I won't spoil it here, just in case you have no idea, but there is a toy of Poochie coming out that has gimmicks in it that reveal maybe where this character's going, and I'm really intrigued to see how that happens, because we're not even building it up so far. We're just establishing him in his relationship to the other guys. I like Ibuki so far as Ultraman. I don't think he's done anything super stand out to me. Honestly, he did kind of start off bad to me, just because I thought the poop joke, this show opens on a poop joke, like a whole poop segment. Like, they don't show any poop, thankfully, but I get it's a kid's show. I'm not going to fault the kid's show for opening on a thing like that. It was just weird to me, mainly because, first of all, it's a poop joke, but second of all, it made me question how long this guy's been on Earth. Like, that's the one thing, my one critique, I guess. It's not a big deal, but, like, I would have liked some establishment of how long Ibuki has been on Earth, mainly because he's out of college. Like, he's a student. So I feel like he has to have been integrated into the society to some extent to be able to be a student, but then he has this whole thing about poop, and, like, trying to show everyone the animal poop. And then the poop comes back in the latest episode. They're all trying to collect kaiju poop. So it was not a problem in the latest episode, but it just made me wonder, like, what are these writers' obsession with poop in this show so far? I don't get what's happening. But I'll take this chance now to talk about this thing. First of all, it's a cool toy. As we expected, there's no gimmick in it. It makes all the sounds and lights on its own. And I like that he has all these different colored attacks. I like that it's just a thing he does. Like, he can't just turn purple and green. Like, he doesn't need to have a big moment to earn that power. The only one they have done big moments with is his yellow one to do the beam, which is expected. And I also quite like how the beam has it is very powerful to him. It is like he had to recoil from it. And the Ultraman pose is him holding his arm back to like stabilize it for the beam. I don't know if that's where the pose came from. Like, is that why the original Ultraman does that? But either way, seeing this guy kind of recontextualize it as a stabilizing position was pretty cool. And it does make me think over time we will see him be able to control the beam, and like maybe he could just he doesn't need the harm. I don't know. I also really like this. I kind of got this just because it's like cheap, because there's no gimmick, and I might as well. I was in Japan, but this is the thing I really wanted. I really like how you can do the Zero transformation just with the brace, and you can do a normal Zero transformation. I don't have an Ultraman Zero toy. What is weird is you need the wall to do anything else, and I'm like really worried. It's down there. That's why I looked down there. I had to really struggle to get that thing back in one piece. I got it back in one piece, but it is weird how the gimmick. Like, I would have rather they found some different way to store the codes that this thing scans, rather than a big plastic sheet. On another another thing, who does anyone know how this thing works? Like, what is it scanning? Like, I know what it's scanning, but like, how is it detecting like the differences between, like, they just look like stickers. What's it scanning? There's no like chip in the poster either. Like, what's it scanning? Anyways, I will not be doing short reviews of Teo just because my short reviews on Ultraman kind of don't do well, and I don't feel like making them weekly if like 5 people are gonna watch it. I do really like Teo so far, so I will be keeping up weekly. I might post thoughts so far over on my Twitter, or even over here, I might just do a community post. Here's what did you think of Teo? Blah, blah, blah. Like, just a quick little thing. Next episode doesn't seem to be anything too crazy in terms of plot or anything like that. It is continuing the cliffhanger and the things we've set up so far in the previous episode, so I am excited for that, like, just that we're kind of continuing this momentum. This is actually, like, a very nice kind of in-between of, like, doing the episodic stuff and a full plot-focused Ultraman, because I am interested in the week-to-week stories because they just keep stacking on top of each other, but they're not super big world-ending or, like, plot development character thing, whatever, each time. I am curious what they'll be doing with that going forward. I'm assuming the big alien thing from the first episode is going to come back, but maybe I refuse to believe they made that suit for the red guy like in episode 1 without him coming back or it becoming a form for Teo. And like, is this the final form? Have I unlocked it early? Am I hacking? Let me know what you think is going to happen to Teo and the gang in the next few episodes, what you're excited for, what you hope is going to happen, any and all thoughts on the show so far, and I hope to see you next time.